Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the story of this small book that changed literally everything for me in my 20s. It came to my life when the word procrastination was not that popular and I was dealing with it without having a clue about the problem. It's funny, not having a name of your problem makes it harder for you to find the solution. It was literally the case for me. I was struggling getting anything done, feeling stuck in life. It was the time when I was in university and was basically struggling to do all the assignments and reading even a single book. Then one day I was in a market and in a small bookshop I saw this little book. Its title and cover intrigued me. The Kaizen way of one small step can change your life. So I thought, really, one small step? Only one that I can do. So that time I randomly opened a page and read a paragraph. In that part, I read the story of the popular writer Michael Ondaatje, who wrote the book The English Patient. There it said, when you're facing a creative block like writing a speech, you know how overwhelming it can feel. You might get all set up with a fresh document, maybe even a cup of coffee, but then a big question hits you. How do I make my opening amazing? How do I convince my audience to believe in my idea? But then instead of feeling inspired, you feel stuck, staring at the blank screen and feeling tense. It is because the question you have asked yourself is too large and frightening. It's triggered the part of your brain that responds to stress. Congratulations, you have awakened your amygdala and your cortex has simply shut down. The author Michael Ondaatje takes a different approach. When he's writing, he doesn't start with big intimidating questions or huge themes. Instead, he asks himself simple and small questions, like picturing a plane crash or imagining a brief conversation. He then explores questions like, who is the person in the story? Why are they here? And what happened to them? Through these small questions, he begins to uncover details and build realistic, compelling characters. Bit by bit, these small details add up, helping them to create deep, believable characters and even award-winning stories. So this was convincing enough for me to bring the book at home and didn't have a single idea that everything is going to change. After that, I read this book in one go. From that time, the book changed my mindset and I learned how to get things done, even doing minimal effort. And so today, I'm going to share some insights from this book with you. So let's start with the definition of Kaizen. It's about using small steps to improve a habit and making lasting change without feeling overwhelmed. At the very beginning, the book gives a fine blueprint of how this Kaizen works. Read this while I'm having a sip of my tea. You can also screenshot if you want. Basically, it says your brain naturally resists changes, but by taking small steps, you can gradually rewire it. This helps you to overcome with creative blocks, building new neural connections, making your brain love the changes you want to do. So one of the first takeaways I got from this book was about taking small steps to tackle fear. It starts with an interesting story that caught my attention. It was about a woman named Julie, a single mom who was exhausted and barely making it to her day. She wanted to get healthier, but committing to a full workout routine seemed impossible for her. So instead of pressuring her to jump and get into these intense workout sessions, her doctor suggested something simple. Very simple. Just march in one place for 1 minute in front of the TV. That's it, 1 minute. Julie said, that's not a big deal. So she started to do that 1 minute exercise and felt confident. It was better than nothing. Soon that 1 minute became one more and she saw some incredible result in her health. That impact was incredible because that small little action was very easy to do and didn't trigger any fear in her. She was able to stick with it and even add more. That's when it clicked for me. When something feels impossible, you don't know where to start, then do the smallest possible action. In this way, you are not just creating a new habit, you are telling your brain it's safe. Move forward. It can be writing the first line of your assignment, quitting just one bad habit from your life, or folding just one cloth in your wardrobe. The next one is ask small questions for big answers. I always say questions are powerful and this book gives a beautiful example of this. It says many people are dissatisfied with their job but haven't considered in what kind of job they might feel happy or pride. It is because their mind never conditioned to answer the questions like, what kind of job could bring me pride and pleasure? In this case, what would be the easiest and simplest way to find what job you love? The author suggests find friends who likes their job job and ask them questions like, what is one aspect of your job that makes you happy? The single answer can inspire their thoughts to understand what they really want from a job. Like, it can be having a work from home facility or having no strict time to arrive at the office. So like this, if you want to improve your health, you can ask questions like, if health were my priority, what would I be doing differently today? What is the one way I can remind myself to drink more water? How could I incorporate a few more moments of exercise into my daily routine? These small questions are powerful because it allows to sidestep brain neutral's resistance to change. And then I got my next takeaway from the book, which was about small consistency beats intensity. It's one of my favorite examples from the book, and it's about a famous company, Toyota. In the year 2010, the car company experienced 9 million returns and negative publicity due to suppliers' inability to sustain the higher quality for which the car company was known for. Here, to deal with the situation, Toyota applied the Kaizen method, focusing on one continuous improvement rather than large-scale changes. They did it by empowering the workers to stop the assembly line anytime they spot a small defect and fixing that small issue right away before they escalate into something big. Employees were trained to recognize that small problems, making every one part of the quality control. By focusing on this small continuous improvement through regular training and workshops, Toyota built a system where their quality gradually improved without waiting for major changes. The story taught me it's not about making drastic or sweeping changes. Real and sustainable changes comes from consistency and through small steps. In this book, there is already a table on how to take the Kaizen action. Like, if the goal is stop overspending, then remove one object from the shopping cart before heading to the cash register. If the goal is keeping the house clean, pick one area of the house, set a timer for 5 minutes and tidy up. If you want to get more sleep, then go to bed a minute earlier. Lastly, I want to say this book introduced me with a brilliant concept called mind sculpture, which is almost like the visualization technique. But it's like visualizing very small and incremental changes. By repeatedly visualizing the small steps, your brain begins to create a neural pathway to achieve your desired behavior, which the book mentions sculpting the mind. It also gives a reference of mind sculpturing in the story of Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer. With 22 medals, 18 of them are gold. Phelps' coach asked him to practice mind sculpture while still lying in the bed. He instructed Phelps to picture himself on the starting block, hearing the signal, pushing the block, guiding powerfully and smoothly through the water, and making perfect turns at each wall, as if he were watching a video clip of his performance. Phelps rehearsed mentally every day before he actually got into the pool. The payoff came when, during one of his events, he had water in his goggles, a problem that could have showed him down and cost him a victory. But Phelps was prepared, having envisioned these potential snares during his mental imagery exercises. Thus, the gold medal for that event was his. So this is it. These were the things I wanted to talk about in this video. I think this video became too long. I don't know if you're still watching it or not. Leave a small comment if you watched this far. Read this book. It's tiny and small, and you'll get many other examples of Kaizen from this book. Anyway, subscribe if you haven't already. Please share this video with at least one of your friends whom you think need this video. I'll meet you soon.